What's Molly? What you got?
Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to another Sunday morning show. Early start for me today. I was heading up to Bristol Airport at 3 o'clock this morning, taking Laura and her friend Kelly up to the airport, who are heading up to Glasgow to start the Three Peaks Challenge. Their objective was to raise £1,700, and thanks to you guys, they've managed to raise just over £2,000. So for those of you that have contributed, thank you so much for taking the time to contribute your money, but also your messages that you sent through to them, encouraging them to get this job done. So they're heading over to Scotland. It starts in Scotland. They've got the Three Peaks, which is Ben Nevis, I believe, and then Scarfield, might have got that wrong, and then finishing up at Snowdon before heading home on Sunday. So we wish them all the best. I have actually given Laura the GoPro so she can show us. Let's see how her skills are on the camera. She's a little bit nervous on camera, so it'll be interesting to see what actually comes out from that. But she's going to show us their little experience of heading up these mountains, which I believe they're mountains. Well, this week has been extremely busy. I've had the opportunity to catch up with my brother Paul. He headed up to Churston, and we'll catch up with him later on in this show. I also went to the Golfing Days trip, and I'm going to catch up with Ollie from Golfing Days because we headed up to East Sussex National this week, which is a fantastic resort, 36 holes resort, hosted some amazing events up there, and we were up there for the Golfing Days National Team Club Team Championships, and I went up there with Leicester, and I think there was 11 of us in the team. We were one short actually in the end, one short from playing as a full team, but it didn't matter because it was 8 scores to count in the singles, 6 scores to count in the pairs. So we're going to head over to East Sussex National to find out how we got on there. And also this week I've been at Vokey Castle. We've had a huge reunion. Myself, Lee, Whitaker, Leicester got together, getting the old band back together, you know, and played a scramble format, bit of fun at Vokey Castle. So I will give you a little bit of footage on how that one went as well. So a lot to get through in today's video. I've also got a new, well, I won't tell you exactly what's arriving, but I've got a delivery arriving, which will then lead on to this week's tip at the end of the show.
Good morning guys, and welcome to the Sunday morning show at East Sussex National. We are here for the National Golf Club Team Championship qualifier, the second one of the series. So far we've got Woodall Spa in last position, but only 12 points behind the leaders, Farnham Golf Club, which are leading with 265 total. So a pretty good score from the singles. That was 8 singles from 12 scores to count. Today they are playing pairs around the East Course with 4 scores to count from the 6. So fingers crossed, it'll be a tough battle, and we'll see who takes the victory and qualifies for the final at McInnes Peninsula.
And how did we get on?
Just pushing the brand first. We didn't win, we finished 4th, so Champions League spot, but there was only 4 teams, so. But the only way is up.
Well, it's not really, because we're actually out of the event.
Yeah, but next year, that was like a trial. We've literally come onto the stage,
Yeah.
and now it's time to perform next year. I'm expecting big things next year.
You're looking very comfortable there, so I won't get you to stand up. But did you enjoy the trip?
Yeah, it was a brilliant trip. I took more of a backstage role, I think, in this team this year, and next year I'm going to step forward as captain and skipper and as inspirational leader and push this team on to great heights. And I'm just going to throw this out here, we're getting to the finals next year.
Like it. And on that note of great heights, actually, and I'll just come down to your level, but we've got to jump in the van because we're now heading over to Vokey Castle.
We are, yeah.
Should we go to Vokey Castle?
Let's go to Vokey Castle.
Let's get there. Look at them.
Right.
Lined up there like a pair of troopers.
Pair of somewhere.
Troopers.
I feel like one of those like spare spanners in the corner, you know, at the moment.
I know it's really early, but I feel like that was a dream. I mean, that actually just happened.
Just wake up.
Did that actually just happen?
Where are we? I'll get you a late ball. How's it going? You have literally got a full bead on. Yeah, it's quite warm in here, isn't it? So literally like a week after you winning the PGA Championship, you're in the studio working on your game and figuring something out.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just tinkering with the driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not happy with it?
It's not great at the moment. So I've just been struggling going a bit left. So just trying to figure out, you know, make a few little changes maybe here and there, see if I can get it straightened up a bit. This driver's, you know, quite dated now, so I wanted to try. I haven't had a proper go with the Titleist driver yet, and I see you and James hitting it really well, so I wanted to give it a go and see if I can find a setup that will work for me with it.
But what actually is this driver, and is it the most powerful driver on the market?
I don't know, that's what I'm kind of looking at with the data on the quad, trying to see if it is as efficient as the Titleist. This is 195 gram head, it's got quite a light shaft, it's a 60 gram X, and I've got a light grip on it, so it's not your standard off-the-shelf setup, so it takes me quite a while to find exactly what I want, because what I'm trying to do is maximise my club head speed but not letting the club efficiency drop, which is what you can do if you take too much weight out of the head. Yeah, there's three things I'm looking at, mainly is ball speed, club head speed, and then obviously that's the smash factor in between.
Okay.
So, and then obviously the distance it's carrying and rolling.
Can we have a little look at the bag that I'm assuming is all the same setup of what you won the Club Pro Championships with?
So where do you want me to start?
Well, we've done driver, putter. Let me look at putter, because this is the one that you said to me at the beginning of this year. You said, right, I'm going to get a putter in my bag and I'm going to stick with it. You haven't, because you've now taken that putter out and put this putter in.
Yeah.
So what is this one, and why have we got it in the bag?
This is the Spider, TaylorMade Spider, with quite a lot of lead on it.
Yeah, wow.
So it's very heavy. It's quite upright and it's quite short, and it's got a round grip on it as well. Which is,
and legally you're allowed a round grip?
Yeah, for a putter, yeah.
And when you say short in its length, what length is it?
I think it's 31 or 32.
Wow, so it really makes you get over the ball?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah, I like, it just feels a bit more under control because it's shorter. It's something that took a while to get used to, but now when I go to a longer putter, it just feels so alien.
And being a Spider, it's got, what neck has it got on there? Is it a face balance putter? Is it, what's it got on there?
It is face balanced, yes. Got, hold it there. It should.
Yeah, it doesn't hold itself up.
Like, it does hold, but yeah, it's quite heavy to hold. You almost need two fingers to hold.
So are we sticking? Are we now sticking with that?
I don't know. We'll see, won't we? They, I was really happy with the Cali, and then it just went off. So what I like about this is I like the bigger line. I just feel it's a lot easier to align. But I don't necessarily. I prefer the feel of the Cali, if I'm honest, but the bigger line here feels way more stable from short putts.
Okay.
And I always kind of put short putts as the important part of putting over longer putts. So that's the reasoning behind that. And I've been using it the last couple of weeks, and it's really worked well. So it will be staying until it misbehaves.
Wedges then?
Yeah.
You use Vokey, and any particular type of Vokey?
48, a 52, and this is a new 58 I've just put in the bag about a week ago. These are the SM8s, these two here, which I prefer. You know, they've had a bit of use, which I prefer, because if they're too sharp on these ones, I don't want these spinning back too much. But the 58 is a new SM9, a T-grind 4-degree bounce, and I want that to be the grooves to be as sharp as possible, because that's your get out of trouble club, really.
And then actually, you've got some new irons this year.
Stolen them from you.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't get on with them, so you may as well use them.
Yeah, they're the T100S.
Yeah.
Really like them because they're stronger, because I like my loft stronger, but they're not offset. So basically, if you tweak a club and make it stronger, it makes it more offset, which I don't like to see, because I draw the ball, so I don't want to see any sort of lag in the head. Yeah. So these are built square, but 2 degrees stronger than standard. 9-iron through to 5-iron. Yeah. And I've put some old shafts, which took out some TaylorMade clubs, because I didn't quite like the ones you had in them. KBS C-tapered Tours 105S, which I'm not quite sure they're definitely right for me. I'm going to try and experiment with some other shafts. I think they might be a bit too light. I'm just turning them over a little bit too much, so I might look at. I like the flight that I get with them, but I'm just sort of struggling with overdrawing it at the moment. So
yeah, okay.
I might look at something a bit stiffer.
And then what do you then go into once you've got you've got some old trusties in there?
Yeah, I've got these are the Callaway old UT X-Forged, and I've got them in 18 and 21, which is technically my 4-iron and 3-iron. And they're not the lofts they say they are. I've bent them to what kind of flows from my 5-iron onwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these work really good. These are really nice clubs. They've got C-taper light shafts in them, which are in stiff as well. And I'm going to struggle to get these out of my bag. So I really like these for long iron. I've never been a great long iron player, but I'm certainly a lot better with those.
And then, I mean, they're quite old now, these little bad boys.
Yeah, they are. I still think they're as good as anything though there is out there. It's the 2017 M2 heads, and I've got them in a 3 and a 3 HL, which I call my forward. But that's been bent to 17 with a 5-wood shaft in it, and then this has been bent to 13, and it's got a 3-wood shaft in it. So they're not, even though they're 2 3-woods, they don't play anything like 2 3-woods. Plays more like a 2-wood and a 4-wood.
And what shaft have you got in there for?
This one is a Diamana Cali 70 gram X-Flex.
Okay.
And that's just something I tried. Because this is so strong, I needed something that flighted a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So I found that this one, as opposed to in this one here, I've got a 70 whiteboard, which flights it a bit lower. That goes quite nice in my forward because it's got a bit more loft on it, so I can keep that good control on that. That's a TX Tour X in that one, and that works well on there. And then I've been tinkering with this one for a while to get the right shaft, and this one's the best one I've found so far that can still flight it up a bit higher because of the low loft, but also get some good performance out of it as well.
And then last, but certainly not least,
golf ball. Titleist Pro V1X, the new one.
The new version.
I haven't been...
See any difference from the old to new? Do you feel like there's any changes happening with this
I haven't
ball?
noticed them,
no,
if I'm honest, but I'm sure there are on the data if I was to go dive in properly.
Yeah.
But I've only just started using them the last maybe month. But yeah, they've been fine, absolutely fine. Really like them. I've used Titleist all my life, and to be honest, I've never really notice the changes when they bring out a new ball, but if I went back maybe 10 years ago, I probably would see the difference. But there's always just little changes each year, isn't it? Or every 2 years. But I use 53, and then I've got a line on the ball.
Now, if you remember last week on the Sunday morning show, I was giving away a V-Grind 60-degree wedge. And all you had to do was make sure that you were subscribed to the channel, share the video to maybe a few of your mates, and tell me who was going to win the US Open. Well, not many people got Wyndham Clark. A lot of people going for Rory McIlroy, a lot of people really wanting Ricky Fowler to win, and I have to say I fully understand why. He needs to win a major, absolutely, and what a comeback it would have been considering he's in the depths of his golf game for a period of time there. And the one lucky winner is Emma Parker. Congratulations, Emma. All I need you to do is send me a quick email to dh@dhgolf.co.uk and I will get your new Wedgeworks Vokey out to you. Someone at the door. Oh. Is this the box I've been waiting for? Oh, it is. It's arrived. It has arrived. The new Scotty Cameron. Now I know what you're saying, damn, why would you even consider changing your putter? And well, there's a video that I've put together from Woburn which will explain a little bit more, but let's get out onto the putting green and see how this one feels compared to the old one.
So what's the major difference then between the old one and now the new one? Now I'm not going to go into too much detail because I do want you to check out the video that I've created for this, which is going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. But ultimately, what have they done? They've milled the face out just a little bit more to make it maybe feel a little bit softer, or certainly feel different off the face. And they've taken a little bit of weight out of the kind of neck of the putter to try and distribute that weight a little bit more into the heel and toe, giving us a little bit more MOI. So what that means is it just makes it a little bit more forgiving. So if you have off-centered strikes, you're hopefully still getting that golf ball to the hole. Now spec wise, I've gone pretty much standard, which is the same as what I had in the previous model. I've got the same length at 34 inches and the grip is the Matador grip. Again, exactly the same as my previous model, just because I want it to look and feel the same as what I had before, but just maybe making it a little bit softer in its feel and maybe just fractionally more forgiving. Now when it comes to a putting tip, there's been a lot of questions over the years for me as to why do I use a cross-handed putting grip. Now for those of you that may have heard me say this before, I used to have the yips pretty badly. In fact, I still have the yips when I'm putting. If I go back to kind of a conventional feel or a conventional grip with my putter, I definitely start to feel very yippy. And certainly when I get into competitions and more on maybe the longer putts, I will start to feel it in my hands as well. So what I had to do back in the day when I did get the yips was I had to make a change. I had to change the feel of what I had with my putter. And to do that, I moved to cross-handed. I played around with loads of different grips, but the cross-handed one was the one that kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable with it. So this week's tip is more for those that do struggle a little bit with maybe anxious feelings when they're putting. I suffered with the longer putts. You may suffer with maybe the shorter putts, which is probably the most common. But you need to change the neuro pathway up here. You need to break something in order to be able to take a step forward. So changing the way you grip the club or even the way it feels to you is definitely going to make a shift when it comes to what you're thinking about when you're standing over a putt. And at the end of the day, the majority of the time is you're concerned more about the result rather than the process of what you're going through. By changing a feel can definitely help the way you think about your putts. So give it a go. Let me know down in the comments, how are you getting on with your putting? Have you done something similar to what I've done to help you with your game? Now I hope you've enjoyed that Sunday morning show. There's a lot to get through this week again. It's been fantastic to catch up with the boys and I can't wait to bring the reunion match from Bovey Castle to you. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing from these videos, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next week for something pretty special.